Welcome back, everybody. As you probably guessed from the thumbnail and the title of the video, we're going over Olight's summer sale that, if you are watching this video, has already started because I was waiting on one of the items to show up today. It just showed up. So we are going to be showcasing them for you here. So a few items. I'm missing a couple things. They just didn't send it out this time for whatever reason that we're going to go over here. But we have, first up, this is a weapon light, and it is a LEP weapon light, which, long story short, what that essentially does is it takes laser technology and puts it into a light. This is the first one that I'm aware of that is actually a pistol light, but what it does is it gives you really good candela. So this one here is the turbo, and you'll see here on the back we have our laser warnings, because again, it's actually laser technology that they use as a light. So you're going to get over 70,000 candela with this guy. It's a quick attach system. It comes with both the Glock insert as well as a 1913 insert. And of course, here on the back, we have two CR123A batteries. And the interface is essentially, you can either side with the paddle, you can press and hold. For your high constant on, it's gonna all be high. And then you can click if you just want your constant on, and you don't have to worry about holding it down for that momentary option. So with that, we will move on to the next thing. And I should note that at night here in a little bit, when the sun goes down, we're going to show you the output of all of these lights. This is the Olight O-Bulb Pro. There's some big differences in this one versus the other O-Bulbs. If you were to go around my house, you will see that we have O-Bulbs everywhere because they're super convenient, but this one's probably even more convenient. Number one, of course, it's magnetic, and it does come with a piece of steel that you can put anywhere with some 3M tape backing and mount it up like mine are underneath my cabinets and things like that. And you can use them. However, one thing that's different about this is that it now incorporates an app on your phone. So it goes up to 180 lumens, like right now it's on low mode, but on your phone, if you just slide the lumens over, the intensity, that will actually interface with this. And I've used it in my house, and basically anywhere in my house I've been able to get through to it through the app. So the connectivity that it has is pretty darn good. And obviously you can press it and go through the different color modes. And of course they have flashing mode, signaling mode, all of those different things like we have here, as you guys can see. But again, that app really is the key to it because it makes it way more intense in terms of output, if that is what you want. Next up here, we have the i2R Pro, and this is basically a little keychain light that is rechargeable. You just back it out there, and we have our USB-C charger on there. And basically the operation of it, if I can get it to go back in, it's O-ring sealed as well, is you just turn it and you'll have your low, like you guys can see here, and then all the way turn, that is your high. The output out of this thing, as compared to say like an iPhone or something like that, is way brighter, and obviously it is pretty darn small. However, even smaller is this guy here. So this is the iMini, which is a magnetic system. So it's again a keychain light, and when you want it to go on, I'll do this so you guys can see it. You just pull out, and basically it comes on. You can actually feel a click. Not sure if my microphone will pick that up, but it does click into place with that magnet. And of course it's magnetic back, so you can put it anywhere you want, it will stick. So there is that. This unfortunately is not rechargeable. It uses like hearing, sort of like hearing aid types of batteries. Next up, we've already done a full review on this light, but it is part of the sale. This one here is their Baldr, I have no idea if I'm saying that right, Pro light and laser. So basically we have our charging system here. Just place it on there. You can charge it, of course, when it is on the weapon. Most of your TLR1 holsters will work with this. Some of them won't, but just know that going forward. Again, the paddles are the same, like we just talked about. Momentary press and hold, click for constant on. And if you double click, you can go down to low mode if you guys are afraid of like blinding yourself in a house, if you're one of those people. But of course you can double click and go onto high. And then if we press both of them, you will get the strobe mode. Just like the other one, it is a quick attach system. And again, Glock and 1913 rail inserts. And of course we do have the option for light only, light and laser only, as you guys will see here in just a little bit. So we also have this guy here, which is a much improved product in my opinion. Some of the other lanterns that Olight has offered have left some things to be desired, as I have mentioned on the channel. But this one, they've taken that criticism and improved it. So first off, it is rechargeable. So your recharging cord goes right on there, and you can actually have it on the ground because that charging area there is actually recessed up into it, so you can just leave it on a charger if you want as well. It has these little rubber pads there, so it's not going to slide away or slip on you. And then as indicated here, it is also a power bank, so you can use a USB or USB-C cord there to charge up whatever devices that you want to. Additionally, we have two of these hanging pieces here, one small one right here and one large one here that is rubber padded as well, so you can hang it wherever you want if you want to do so. And then this is your control there. You guys can see at this lowest setting there, we're got an indicator, so it is on red, meaning we need to charge it. And then you can turn it all the way up, and that activates these lights here, which gives you a nice bright, daylight bright type of setting. And then you can transition between the two. You can have a little bit of both, or just sort of like that old school incandescent bulb type of output. And lastly, we have the O pry. It comes with some paracord. If you want to have it made into sort of like a lanyard, you can do so. But it has a number of different things it can do. Obviously, it can pry. We have our ruler here on the side. You can open beer cans, things for your boat. And then additionally, we have these two tools that are in there. It takes these, which are kind of like small if you're working on watches, knives, things like that. But also it takes the full size standard, like, you know, the things that you're going to put in your multi screwdriver, and you can put that in there and then work it on various different projects. With that, I think that's pretty much it for what I have here. Again, I don't have all the lights that are in the sale, but we're going with what we got. Of course, there will be a link down below in the video description. It is an affiliate link. Now we're going to let the lights go down, i.e. the sun, check out the beam pattern of these, and wrap it up at the end. The sun has gone down. Unfortunately, we have a good bit of loom out here tonight, so it's not going to give you the best representation of these outputs, but this is our Baldr Pro with the green laser, and this is on the low setting. That fence there, where the wood fence rather, where it meets the iron fence, is approximately 25 yards away. Those trees there in the background are approximately 30 to 50 yards away, depending on the actual tree itself. We are in the low mode right now, so I'm going to tap it, and that will bump us into the high mode. You can see there is a considerable difference. You guys can get an idea of the beam pattern. I will rotate through the different levels. Right now, to my human eye, that green laser is extremely easy to see. However, I realize on camera it's going to be washed out a little bit. If I put it over here on the trees, it's generally a little bit easier. And then if we go laser only, you guys can get an idea of what that green laser looks like. Again, in person, it's even brighter. It really does draw your eye to it. So that is the output from that light. Let's move on. In stark contrast to what you guys just saw there with Baldr, this is our LEP pistol light here. So obviously you can see it is a very narrow beam because of that LEP technology. And the center there is very tight, very concentrated, very bright. You guys will see as we step across the lake just what that high candela can do for you, but very, very little spill. Of course, if we were in a room, you'd have the light bounce effect. So if you wanted to not worry about, you know, finding yourself, quote unquote, within a room, you could bounce it off of the floor, the ceiling, etc., and it would give you some illumination. But you guys can probably tell on camera there is some spill to it. It's probably hard to tell on camera, but I can tell you in person, without question, there is some spill. Just not a whole lot. Here we have the output from one of the lights I didn't show you earlier because it just arrived. This is the Baton 3. This, of course, is part of the sale. Super small light, EDC type of light, and we are in low mode right now. We can work through the different modes, low, medium, and high, and then if we double click, it will go to turbo. Again, this is a 1200 rather lumen output light, so for a light of its size, it is silly bright, and if we triple click it, we will get the strobe mode as well. Right now you're looking at the ambient light that we have just from the moon, and if we turn that on, that is the i3T on low mode. Unfortunately, is a low-high interface, so if we want to go to the full mode, there you go. That is in the full power mode. Again, just powered by a standard battery, very small, compact EDC type of light. If you guys want battery commonality, those sorts of things, and you don't care about high first, then definitely one to look at. Once again, you're just seeing the illumination from the moon, but our I2R, if we turn it on to low mode, there you can see it. Again, this is at 25 yards away. With an iPhone, you wouldn't see anything. And then if we bump it up into high, that is what you get out of, again, I'll bring it in front of the camera, That little keychain light is giving you that output. Definitely a wide spill pattern, but the hotspot there at that distance is probably about 15 to 20 yards wide. So it's giving you good candela, again, for a light of its size that is so small and rechargeable. Hard to beat that. Unfortunately, our presence has been detected by the neighbor's dog. Apologize for them barking in the background, but this again is standard illumination. And then with our lantern there, you'll see this is kind of the, old school lighting that we talked about. This will give you 180 hours of battery life though, which is pretty darn impressive. And then if we want to bump it up to its full potential, you can just rotate all the way through, and you guys can see, kind of get an idea there of the kind of illumination we can get from the lantern. Now, of course, with the Oboe Pro, you can go through the different modes, different colors. If I get it on white, kind of show you guys. Again, this is on the low mode of white. You guys can see there, again, with the app, this gets much brighter, but I didn't want to walk through an app in a quick explanation video. So that is the white light, and then of course, again, colored light, all of those things are possible. One thing I didn't mention earlier is that this thing actually floats. So if you wanted to throw it in a pool or anything like that, you can do so, or a lake rather, for that matter, and want to have some illumination around you, just some decorative things, it absolutely can handle it. To test out the throw of a couple of these lights, I wanted to kind of shine them across the lake. So the lake from shore to shore is about 110 yards at this point, and I'm about 10 yards back on my side of the lake, and the little fishing shack that we're about to show you is about 130 yards from where I'm at right now. So here we have the Baldr Pro rechargeable light. We'll go ahead and turn that on. Of course, this is in the high mode. You guys can see that we do have our rosemary bush to the right there on your screen. And although we're focused over there on the fishing shack, you can definitely still get some situational awareness at closer up things. And if you zoom in, that is much more akin to what I see here with my human eye out here. The camera has a hard time kind of picking up details, but if somebody was out there holding a object in their hand or something like that, I would definitely be able to identify them, that they're holding something in their hand. I'm not sure I would be able to identify what was actually in their hand. Was it a cell phone? Is it a gun? A little bit difficult to tell at this distance. We kept the zoom the same, and you guys are looking at the LEP light, and you guys can probably get an idea of what those extra candela are doing for you there. The detail really is brought to life with that extra candela that we're getting there. However, on the flip side, as we zoom out, you'll notice, of course, that our rosemary bush here is not illuminated as well. So again, in terms of situational awareness, you definitely lose a little bit. But if you want to blind someone or cause them to wince or something like that when shining a light in their eye, hey, this thing will definitely do it. And again, in terms of a pistol light candela, that is just off the charts. And again, as far as I know, the only LEP pistol light out there on the market. Now that you've seen the output of these lights, that's all I've got for you folks. Of course, like I said, link in the video description. If you've watched this far into the video and you're still upset that this is an Olight video and it angers you and you're typing nasty things down below in the comments section, there's a link in the video description for a mental health resource that you should definitely check out because there's something wrong with you. And I feel sorry for you, and I want you to get help so you don't have to do that every time there is a sale, because it's truly sad. And with that, guys, thank you for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.